Good evening, dear one, and welcome. You have made it to the end of another day. Whatever this day asked of you, whatever it took from you, you do not have to carry any of it into the night. You are here now, safe, still, and that is enough. This is Anchored in Grace, where we come night after night to rest our tired hearts in the oldest and truest words ever written. Tonight, we are going to walk through 8 stories, 8 lives, 8 ordinary, frightened, waiting people who all learned the same quiet thing, that God keeps His word, that He has never once broken a promise, not in all of time. So before we begin, let me invite you to get comfortable. Settle into your pillow. Let your shoulders come down, away from your ears, and take one slow breath in through your nose, and let it go. One more. Breathe in the quiet, and breathe out the weight of the day. And dear one, if you drift off before we reach the end, please do not think of it as missing something. That is not a failure. That is the whole point. These words will keep watch over you long after your eyes have closed. Let us begin where so much begins, under the stars. Part 1. Abraham, the man who counted stars. Let me tell you how it was for me. My name is Abram. Later, God would give me a new one. But on the night I want to tell you about, I was still just Abram, an old man standing outside his tent in the dark. I want you to picture it, dear one, the way I lived it. The desert at night is a colder place than people imagine. The heat of the day lifts off the sand and rises straight up into the dark, and what it leaves behind is a hush so deep you can hear your own heart. The fire had burned down low. The camels were folded into sleep, and I could not rest, because I was waiting. I had been waiting for years. God had made me a promise long before this night. He had told me to leave my father's house, to leave the only country I had ever known, and go to a land He would show me. And He had promised me something more. He had promised me a son, a family, descendants. He said I would become a great nation. But the years had come and gone. My hair had gone gray. My wife Sarah's hair had gone gray. And still, the tent was quiet. No child's cry in the night. No small footsteps in the sand. Just the two of us, growing older, and the promise still hanging in the air, unanswered. Have you ever waited like that, dear one? For something you were sure had been promised to you, for a door that would not open, no matter how long you stood before it. Then you know the ache I carried out into the dark that night, the kind of tired that sleep does not touch. And it was there, in that ache, that the word of the Lord came to me. Listen now to the words from the book of Genesis, the 15th chapter. After these things, the word of Yahweh came to Abram in a vision, saying, "Don't be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward." Abram said, "Lord Yahweh, what will you give me, since I go childless, and he who will inherit my estate is Eliezer of Damascus?" Abram said, "Behold, To me you have given no children, and behold, one born in my house is my heir. Behold, the word of Yahweh came to him, saying, This man will not be your heir, but he who will come out of your own body will be your heir. Yahweh brought him outside and said, Look now toward the sky and count the stars, if you are able to count them. He said to Abram, So shall your offspring be. He believed in Yahweh, who credited it to him for righteousness. Do you hear what he said to me, dear one? The very first thing, before the promise, before the stars. Don't be afraid. He did not scold me for my doubt. He did not turn away from an old man's tired questions. He met me right there in the fear, and he said, I am your shield. I am your reward. Not the sun, not the land, not the great nation. Me. I am the reward. And then he did something I will never forget. He brought me outside. He took me by the shoulder, the way a father turns a child's face toward something worth seeing, and he said, Look up now, and count the stars. I had been counting my years. I had been counting my failures. I had been counting all the empty places in my life. And God said, No, stop counting those. Count these instead. So I tipped my head back. And oh, dear one, the sky over that desert. There is nothing like it. No city lights to wash it thin. Just star upon star upon star. A whole silver river of them poured out from one edge of the dark to the other. So many that the space between them was itself made of fainter stars. So many that counting was a kind of foolishness, and I think God knew that. I think that was the whole point. So shall your offspring be, he said, beyond counting, beyond what your tired arithmetic could ever hold. And something in me let go that night. I stopped doing the math. I stopped adding up the years I did not have and the sun I could not see. I just looked up, and I believed him. The book says it plainly. He believed in Yahweh. That was all. That was enough. Dear one, I wonder what you have been counting tonight. Lying here in the dark, the way I stood in mine. Perhaps you have been adding up the things that did not go right today, the words you wish you had not said, the worry you cannot seem to set down. Perhaps you have been counting the years, like I did, and the promises that still seem to be hanging in the air, unanswered. Let me tell you what the God of the stars would say to you. The same thing he said to a frightened old man outside his tent. Don't be afraid. Stop counting the empty places and look up. There is a song my descendants would write long after I was gone, a song that remembers this very sky. Listen now, from the book of Psalms, the 8th. Yahweh, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have ordained, what is man, that you think of him? What is the Son of Man, that you care for him? For you have made him a little lower than the angels, and crowned him with glory and honor. the work of your fingers. That is what the young shepherd called those stars. Not a machine, not an accident, the work of God's own fingers, set in place one by one, the way a mother tucks the edges of a blanket. And here is the wonder of it, dear one. The God who hung each of those countless stars, who knows them each by name, who never once loses track of a single one in all that vastness, turns his whole attention to you. What is man that you think of him? He thinks of you right now, in this bed, in this dark. The one who keeps the stars is keeping you. You do not have to hold the whole night up by yourself. You never did. The one whose fingers made the moon is holding it, and you, and everything. You can let your arms grow heavy now. You can let the counting stop. Years later, the promise came true. Sarah held a son. We named him Isaac, which means laughter, because God had turned all our long waiting into joy. But I will save that story. It belongs to Sarah, and she will tell it to you far better than I can. For now, dear one, I only want you to remember one thing as you drift. The promise was real the whole time I doubted it. My unbelief did not make it any less true. My waiting did not make God any less faithful. The sun was always coming. I simply could not see him yet. And whatever you are waiting for tonight, whatever promise seems to hang unanswered over your bed, the way it hung over my tent, hear the word of the Lord to a tired old man, and let it be his word to you. Don't be afraid. I am your shield. I am your exceedingly great reward. Look up and rest. The stars are still there, even now, above your roof, countless, faithful, kept, just like you. Sleep a little now, dear one. Sarah is waiting to tell you what happened next. But there is no hurry. There is never any hurry here. Rest. Part 2. Sarah, the woman who laughed. Abraham was my husband, though by the time of my story, God had given us both new names. He was Abraham now, and I was Sarah. He has told you about the stars. Let me tell you the part he was too kind to tell you himself. The part where I laughed at God. I want you to understand something about waiting, dear one. When you wait for a thing long enough, something in you learns to stop hoping for it. Not because you have given up, exactly, but because hoping had started to hurt too much. So you fold the hope away, the way you fold away a child's small clothes that were never worn. And you smooth them flat, and you set them in the bottom of a chest, and you tell yourself you have made your peace with it. That is where I was, an old woman, well past the years of children. My body had told me its verdict long ago, and I had believed it. I had heard the promise, you understand. Descendants like the stars in the sky. I had heard it for decades. And somewhere in all those decades, quietly, without ever deciding to, I had come to believe it was a promise for Abraham, and not really for me. Have you ever done that, dear one? Heard a good and gracious promise, and quietly moved yourself out of the way of it? Decided it was meant for someone else, someone younger, someone stronger, someone less tired than you have become. Then you know exactly the corner of the tent I was standing in. It was the hottest part of the day when it happened. The kind of desert afternoon when even the flies go still, and the air over the sand seems to shimmer and bend. 3 strangers came walking toward our tents by the great oaks of Mamre, and Abraham, bless him, Abraham did what Abraham always did. He ran to meet them. An old man, running in the heat, bowing low, begging them to stay and rest and let him bring them water and bread. He came into the tent to me, breathless, and asked me to bake quickly. So I did. I was at my work, at the door of the tent, just behind him, just out of sight. And that is when I heard one of them say a thing that stopped my hands in the flour. Listen now to the words from the book of Genesis, the 18th chapter. He said, I will certainly return to you at about this time next year, and behold, Sarah your wife will have a son. Sarah heard in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in age. Sarah had passed the age of childbearing. Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I have grown old, will I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? Yahweh said to Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh, saying, Will I really bear a child when I am old? Is anything too hard for Yahweh? At the set time I will return to you, when the season comes around, and Sarah will have a son. Is anything too hard for the Lord? I have turned that question over in my heart every day of my life since. Because you see, dear one, I laughed. I did. Not out loud. I was careful. I laughed within myself, behind the tent door, where I was certain no one could hear. And it was not a happy laugh. I want you to understand that. It was the dry, tired laugh of a woman who has stopped believing that good news can be for her. The laugh you laugh so that you will not cry. You know the one. And he heard it. Of course he heard it. There is no tent door thick enough, dear one, to hide a heart from him. There is no corner dark enough. There is no laugh quiet enough. He hears the sound your heart makes when you think no one is listening. He heard mine. But listen to what he did with my hidden little laugh. He did not shame me. He did not turn away. He did not say, Then you have forfeited it. You doubted. The promise is withdrawn. No. He simply asked a question. Is anything too hard for Yahweh? Not, Why do you doubt me, Sarah? Not, How dare you laugh at my word? Just, gently, the way you might turn a frightened child back toward the truth. Is anything too hard for me? And when the question is put to you, that plainly, dear one, you already know the answer, don't you? No, nothing is too hard for him. Nothing. Not the thing you have folded away in the bottom of the chest. Not the hope you buried so it would finally stop aching. Not the door you have stopped standing in front of, because standing there had begun to break your heart. Nothing is too hard for him. And a year later, dear one, I held him. I held my son. I want you to hear how the story turns, because it is the sweetest turning in all my long life, and I have thought that I would like you to fall asleep inside it. Listen now from the book of Genesis, the 21st chapter. Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said, and Yahweh did to Sarah as he had spoken. Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. Abraham called his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. Sarah said, "God has made me laugh. Everyone who hears will laugh with me." She said, "Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? For I have borne him a son in his old age. God has made me laugh. Do you see what he did, dear one? Do you see the tenderness of it? The very thing I had done in doubt, he gave back to me in joy. I had laughed because I could not believe. Now I laughed because I was holding the proof of it against my chest, warm and small and breathing. The same laugh turned all the way around, and then he did a thing that still undoes me. He named my son for it, Isaac. It means he laughs. So that every single time I called my boy in from the fields, every time I called him to supper, every time I whispered his name over his sleeping face the way you were whispered over as a child, I was saying, out loud, God turned my doubt into delight. God heard the laugh I hid, and he was not angry. He was already planning the laugh he would give me instead. Dear one, I do not know what you have folded away. I do not know what hope you buried in the bottom of your own chest, because it had grown too heavy to keep holding up. But I know the God who heard an old woman laugh behind a tent door. And I want to tell you, as one tired heart to another, across all these thousands of years, it is not too late. It was not too late for me at 90. Is anything too hard for the Lord? There is a song, dear one, written long after I was gone, that gathers all of this into a few quiet lines. A song about the God who does not grow weary, even when we do. Even when we are so tired, we can no longer hope. Let it settle over you now, like a blanket drawn up to the chin. Listen now, from the book of Isaiah, the 40th chapter. Haven't you known? Haven't you heard? The everlasting God, Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, doesn't faint. He isn't weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak. He increases the strength of him who has no might. Even the youths faint and get weary, and the young men utterly fall. But those who wait for Yahweh will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. Those who wait for the Lord. I was one of them, dear one. I waited nearly 100 years, and I can tell you, with a mother's certainty, that the promise did not come one day too soon, nor one single day too late. It came at the set time. The book says it twice, so that you would not miss it. At the time of which God had spoken, at the set time. He is never early. He is never late. He is only faithful. And that is a harder thing to trust than early would be, I know. Waiting on His time is the deepest kind of trust there is. But dear one, His clock has never once been wrong, not in all of time, not for me, not for you. So if you are weary tonight, from waiting, from hoping, from carrying something up a hill that has grown too steep, hear this, and then let yourself put it down. You do not have to renew your own strength. You could not, any more than I could give myself a child at 90. The waiting is not yours to fix. It is only yours to rest inside. You wait, and He renews it for you. Quietly, while you sleep, you will wake with more than you laid down with. You always do. Let the tired laugh soften now, dear one. The one you laugh so you will not cry. Let it become the other kind, the kind that comes when the promise finally arrives, and you are holding it, warm against your chest, and you can hardly believe it was true the whole time you doubted it. God has made me laugh, I said, and everyone who hears laughs with me. So laugh with me now, dear one, softly, just a breath of it. The way you smile at something good in the very last moment before sleep takes you under. Nothing is too hard for Him, not even rest, for a heart as tired as yours. Not even peace, for a mind that has forgotten how to hold it. He is not weary, even now, keeping watch over you. Let Him. Rest now, dear one. Joseph will speak next. His story goes down into a dark place before it rises. A pit, a prison, years he could not understand, but it rises. It always rises, and you are safe here while it does. Sleep. Part 3. Joseph, the man who went down before he rose. My name is Joseph. I am the great-grandson of the old man who counted stars. Abraham was my father's father's father. So the promise ran in my blood, though for many years, dear one, I could not see it anywhere in my life at all. Let me tell you my story the way I lived it, which means I must tell you about the pit first. Before the palace, before the fine linen and the ring of Pharaoh, before any of it, there was a hole in the ground, and I was at the bottom of it. I was 17, the favored son. My father loved me, perhaps too openly, and my brothers knew it, and they hated me for it. One day he sent me out to the fields to check on them, and when they saw me coming, far off, a small figure in a bright coat, they decided to be rid of me. They stripped me. They threw me down into a dry cistern, a pit. And then, as I called up to them from the dark, they sat down nearby and ate their bread. I want you to sit with that for a moment, dear one, not because it is cruel, though it was, but because I think you may know something of that pit yourself. The place where you find yourself suddenly at the bottom of, through no fault you can name, the dark you did not choose. The season when the people who should have loved you sat down nearby and ate their bread, as if your suffering were the most ordinary thing in the world. If you know that pit, then you and I are already friends. And I have something to tell you from the far side of it. They sold me to traders passing by on their way to Egypt. sold me like a sack of grain for 20 pieces of silver, and I went down into Egypt a slave. Down, always down, in those years. I served in a great house, and did well, and was falsely accused, and went down again into a prison. Years passed there. Years, dear one, in a foreign land, forgotten, wondering, I will not pretend otherwise, whether the God of my fathers had simply stopped looking at me. But he had not stopped looking. He never once stopped looking. I only learned that later, the way you often only learn it later. There is a line the psalm singers wrote about my years in that dark, and when I finally heard it, I wept. Listen now to the words from the book of Psalms, the 105th. He sent a man before them, Joseph, who was sold for a slave. They bruised his feet with shackles. His neck was locked in irons, until the time that his word happened, and Yahweh's word proved him true. The king sent and freed him, even the ruler of peoples, and let him go free. He made him lord of his house, and ruler of all of his possessions, until the time that his word happened. Do you hear it, dear one? The shackles were real. The irons were real. The prison was real. The psalm does not pretend otherwise. But over all of it, the whole time, there was a word working, a promise, moving quietly beneath the surface of my ruin, like a river running under a desert. I could not see it. I could not feel it. From the bottom of the pit, from the floor of the prison, there was no sign of it at all. But it was there, working. Until the time that his word happened. That is the thing I most want to give you tonight. The word is working, even in the seasons when you cannot see it working. Especially then. And one day, all at once, the word happened. Pharaoh had dreams no one could read. Someone remembered the young Hebrew in the prison who read dreams. I was rushed up out of the dark, shaved and dressed, and set before the most powerful man on earth. God gave me the meaning of the dreams. 7 years of plenty coming, then 7 years of famine. Store up the grain, I said, and you will save many lives. And Pharaoh took the ring from his own hand and set it on mine. From the pit to the palace, from the prison floor to the second throne of Egypt, in a single morning. But, dear one, that is not the part of the story I have carried closest. The palace was not the point. The point came years later, when the famine spread even to the land of my father and my brothers. The very ones who had thrown me in the pit came down to Egypt to buy grain, and did not know the ruler they bowed before was the boy they had sold. I could have destroyed them. I had every power to. Instead, I wept, and I told them who I was, and I gathered them close. And when our father died, and they were afraid I would finally take my revenge, I said to them the truest thing I have ever said. Listen now to the words from the book of Genesis, the 50th chapter. Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring to pass as it is today, to save many people alive. Now therefore don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your little ones." He comforted them and spoke kindly to them. "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." I could not have said those words from the bottom of the pit, dear one. I want you to know that. Down in the dark, I did not understand. I do not think I was meant to understand yet. It took years. It took the whole long road before I could turn around and see that not one step of it had been wasted. The pit led to the traders. The traders led to Egypt. Egypt led to the prison. The prison led to Pharaoh. And all of it, every dark mile of it, led to a storehouse of grain that kept my whole family and the promise and the future alive. God did not waste my pit. He does not waste yours either. I know that is hard to believe from inside it. I would not have believed it either. So I do not ask you to feel it tonight. I only ask you to hold the possibility loosely, the way you would hold a hand in the dark. What looks like the end of your story may only be the middle of it, the part where you cannot yet see the good that the whole time was being woven out of the very thing that harmed you. The same song that remembered my shackles, dear one, begins by remembering something larger, not my suffering, but God's long memory. For the psalm singers knew that my story was only one thread in a promise that stretched back to Abraham and forward past all of us. Listen now to how it opens, from the book of Psalms, the 105th. Give thanks to Yahweh, call on his name, make his doings known among the peoples. Remember his marvelous works that he has done, his wonders, and the judgments of his mouth. He has remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, the covenant which he made with Abraham, his oath to Isaac, and confirmed the same to Jacob for a statute, to Israel for an everlasting covenant. He has remembered his covenant forever. Do you see it, dear one? The same God who let me be sold, who let me be forgotten in a foreign prison, had not forgotten one word of what he swore to my great-grandfather under the stars. To 1,000 generations, forever. My pit did not interrupt the promise. It carried the promise. The very hands that seemed to be tearing my life apart were, though I could not see it, the hands God used to keep his ancient word. Whatever feels torn apart in your life tonight, dear one, hold this close as you drift. He remembers his covenant forever. He has not forgotten one word he spoke over you, not one. There is one more thing, dear one, before I let you drift. A promise from the God who was with me in the pit, spoken through another of his servants long after my day. A promise for anyone who is passing through deep water tonight. Listen now, from the book of Isaiah, the 43rd chapter. Now Yahweh who created you says, "Don't be afraid, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they will not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned, and the flame will not scorch you. For I am Yahweh your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. I will be with you. That is what he never told me while I was in the pit, but it is what he was doing the whole time I was in it. He did not spare me the water. He did not keep me out of the fire, but he was with me in it, every hour, every year. The waters did not overflow me. The flame did not scorch me, because he was there. In the dark I thought was empty. Dear one, wherever you are tonight, if it is a pit, if it is a prison of a kind no one else can see, if you are in the long middle of a story you cannot yet understand, hear the God of Joseph say it over you. You are mine. I have called you by your name. I am with you in the water. It will not overflow you. You do not have to climb out of the pit tonight. You only have to rest in the arms of the one who is down there with you, who never left, who is already, quietly, turning it all toward good. Let your breathing slow. Let the dark become gentle. It is not empty. He is in it, and he is faithful. Rest now, dear one. Moses will speak next. He knew a different kind of dark, a whole people, afraid, with the sea before them and the enemy behind. But he learned how God goes ahead of us into the night. Sleep, you are held. Part 4. Moses, the man who followed the fire. My name is Moses, and of all the people who will speak to you tonight, I may be the one who argued with God the longest before I trusted him. So if you have been arguing lately, dear one, if part of you is lying here in the dark, still making your case, then stay close to me. I understand you better than most. Let me tell you where I was when God first called me. I was an old man by then, 80 years old, tending sheep on the backside of a wilderness. I had once been a prince in Egypt. Now I was a shepherd in the middle of nowhere, a man with a failure behind him and nothing much ahead. And God spoke to me out of a bush that burned, but was not consumed. He told me to go back to Egypt and bring his people out of slavery. And do you know what I said, dear one? I said, "Who am I?" I said, "I am not eloquent." I said, "Send someone else." I gave him every reason I was the wrong man, and every reason was true. But he did not need me to be the right man. He needed me to go, and he promised the one thing that settles everything. He said, "I will be with you." I did go, in the end, and after 10 plagues, after a night of terror in Egypt, Pharaoh finally let the people go. Hundreds of thousands of them. Families, children, old people, flocks and herds, a whole nation walking out of 400 years of slavery into a wilderness they did not know, toward a land they had never seen. And here, dear one, is the part I have most wanted to tell you, because I want you to know how God led us through the dark. We did not have a map. We did not know the way. We were a frightened crowd of freed slaves in an empty land, but we were not left to find our own way. Listen now to the words from the book of Exodus, the 13th chapter. Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of cloud, to lead them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, that they might go by day and by night. The pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night didn't depart from before the people. By night, a pillar of fire. Sit with that, dear one. When the sun went down over that wilderness, and the cold came, and the dark pressed in from every side, the very dark that has always frightened the human heart, God did not leave us to feel our way blind. He became a light in front of us, a column of fire, tall and steady, glowing gold against the black sky, so that a mother could see her child's face, and a frightened people could see that they were not alone and not lost. And notice what the fire did, dear one. It did not take away the wilderness. It did not make the journey short. It gave light for the next few steps. That is all we ever really needed. Not the whole road lit up at once. Just enough light for tonight. Just enough to see the ground beneath our feet and the fire ahead of us, and to know that where the fire went, we could safely follow. I wonder if that is what you need tonight, dear one. Not the whole future explained, not every question answered, just enough light for the next small step, just enough to know you are not walking through the dark alone. That is what He gave us. That is what He gives still. The pillar did not depart from before the people. It never went out, not one single night in 40 years. Then came the sea. Pharaoh changed his heart and came after us with all his chariots, and we were trapped, the water before us, the army behind us, and nowhere to go. The people were terrified. They cried out. They turned on me. And I said to them the words I had to preach to my own frightened heart first. Listen now to the words from the book of Exodus, the 14th chapter. Moses said to the people, "Don't be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh, which He will work for you today. Yahweh will fight for you, and you shall be still. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, and you shall be still." Dear one, there are times to run and times to fight, and I have known both. But there are other times, the hardest times, when the only thing left to do is to be still and let God do what only God can do. The sea was not ours to part. The army was not ours to defeat. We could not save ourselves that day, and God did not ask us to. He asked us to stand still, to stop thrashing, to let Him fight. And that night the sea opened, and we walked through on dry ground, with walls of water on either hand, and the pillar of fire behind us, holding back the dark and the enemy all night long. Tonight, dear one, you do not have to part your own sea. Whatever stands before you, the trouble that seems too wide to cross, the fear that has you pinned, you are allowed to be still. You are allowed to stop thrashing against it, just for the night. Lay down the fight. Let Him keep the watch. He is very good at it. He has never lost a night. Long after that night at the sea, dear one of the singers of Israel looked back on it in the middle of his own dark and sleepless night. He could not sleep. He was troubled, and he wondered if God had forgotten to be gracious. And then he remembered the sea, he remembered the fire, and it steadied him. Listen now to what he wrote from the book of Psalms, the 77th. I will remember Yahweh's deeds, for I will remember your wonders of old. I will also meditate on all your work and consider your doings. Your way, God, is in the sanctuary. What God is great like God? You are the God who does wonders. Your way was through the sea, your paths through the great waters. Your footsteps were not known. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Your footsteps were not known. I love that line, dear one, because it is honest. Even standing in the middle of the dry seabed, we could not see God's footprints. We could not trace how he was doing it. His way was through the sea, but his footsteps were hidden. That is so often how it is. You cannot see the path he is making until you are already walking on it. And notice how the singer ends it. Not, you drove your people. Not, you dragged them. You led your people like a flock, gently, the way a shepherd moves sheep in the cool of the evening. That is how he brought us through. That is how he brings you through, even now. I led that people for 40 years, dear one, through wilderness and want, through their doubts and mine. And near the end of it, before I handed them to another, I gathered everything I had learned about the faithfulness of God into a few words, and I gave them to my people the way I want to give them to you now. Listen now to the words from the book of Deuteronomy, the 31st chapter. Yahweh, he it is who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you, nor forsake you. Don't be afraid, neither be dismayed. He goes before you. That is the whole of it, dear one. 40 years in the wilderness taught me only this, and it was enough. Wherever you must go tomorrow, he is already there. He has gone ahead into your morning, the way the pillar went ahead of us into the dark. He has already walked through the day you are afraid of. He is standing in it now, waiting for you, with light enough for every step. He will not fail you. He will not forsake you. 2 promises, plain and old and true. He has never broken either one. Not for me, not in 40 years of wilderness, not for you, in whatever wilderness you are walking through now. So let the pillar of fire glow gently at the edge of your sleep tonight, dear one. You do not have to see the whole way. You only have to trust the one who lights the next step and rest until morning. He is keeping the fire burning while you sleep. He does not slumber. He does not depart. The light will still be there when you open your eyes. It always is. Be still now, dear one, and see. The one who goes before you is also the one who stays beside you all night long. Before I let you go into sleep, dear one, let me leave you with the blessing God gave us to speak over his people. My brother Aaron spoke these words over the whole camp, evening after evening. Let them be spoken over you now, the way they were spoken over a tired nation resting in the dark. Listen now from the book of Numbers, the 6th chapter. Yahweh bless you and keep you. Yahweh make his face to shine on you and be gracious to you. Yahweh lift up his face toward you and give you peace. He make his face to shine on you. Even in the deep of the night, dear one, his face is turned toward you, shining, the way the pillar of fire shone over a sleeping camp. He is keeping you. He is being gracious to you. He is giving you peace right now as your breathing slows and your thoughts grow soft and the day lets go of you at last. Let his face shine on you and rest. Rest now. Ruth will speak next. She knew what it was to lose everything and start over as a stranger in a foreign field. But she found that God's covering reaches even the ones who feel they do not belong. Sleep, dear one. The fire is lit. Part 5. Ruth, the woman who gleaned in a stranger's field. My name is Ruth. I was not born among the people of God. I came from Moab, a foreign land, a foreign people. So if you have ever felt like an outsider, dear one, like you were standing at the edge of a warmth that belonged to someone else, then let me tell you my story, because I know that feeling all the way down, and I know how it ends. It began with loss, so much loss that I hardly know how to lay it before you gently. There was a famine in the land of Israel, and a family came to my country, Moab, to escape it. A mother named Naomi, her husband, and 2 sons. I married one of those sons. I loved him. And then, in a span of years I would not wish on anyone, the father died, and then both sons died. And there we were, 3 widows, Naomi and her other son's wife, and me. 3 women, with the men all gone, and the future gone with them, standing in the wreckage of the lives we had planned. Naomi decided to go home to Bethlehem. She told us to stay in Moab, our own land, where we might yet find new husbands and new lives. She was trying to release us. She loved us too much to make us share her grief. And her other daughter-in-law, weeping, turned back. No one could blame her. But I could not do it. Something in me would not let go of this grieving old woman and the God she served. And so I said to her the words that, I am told, people still say to one another all these years later. Words for weddings, words of belonging. Listen now to the words from the book of Ruth, the 1st chapter. Ruth said, "Don't urge me to leave you and to return from following after you. For where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May Yahweh do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts you and me. Your people will be my people, and your God my God." I did not know, dear one, when I said those words on that dusty road, that I was walking straight into the arms of a faithfulness larger than I could imagine. I only knew I would not leave her alone in her grief. I chose loyalty when I had every reason to choose safety. I chose a hard road with a good woman over an easy road alone. And I want you to notice something, dear one, before I go on. I did not choose God because my life was going well. I chose him standing in the ruins of everything, widowed, poor, foreign, with nothing to offer but my willingness to stay. And that, it turned out, was enough for him to work with. It is always enough. We came to Bethlehem with nothing. 2 widows, one of them a foreigner, with no man to provide and no field to farm. So I did what the poor did in Israel. I went out to glean. The law of God had a tenderness built into it, dear one, a tenderness I did not expect. The landowners were commanded not to harvest the corners of their fields, and not to go back for what they dropped, but to leave it for the poor, the widow, the foreigner, for people exactly like me. God had woven provision for the outsider right into the fabric of the harvest, and by what looked like pure chance, though I have never once believed it was chance, I came to the field of a man named Boaz, a kind man, a man of standing, and a close relative of my dead husband's family. When he saw me gleaning, a stranger in his field, he did not send me away. He told his workers to leave extra grain for me on purpose. He told me to stay close, to drink from his water jars, to be safe among his own servants. And when I asked him, astonished, why he would show such kindness to a foreigner, he said something I have never forgotten. Listen now to the words from the book of Ruth, the 2nd chapter. Boaz answered her, I have been told all about what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, and how you have left your father and your mother and the land of your birth, and have come to a people that you didn't know before. May Yahweh repay your work, and a full reward be given to you from Yahweh, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Oh, dear one, when he said those words, something broke open and healed in me at the same time, because that is exactly what it had felt like, though I had never had the words for it. I, the foreigner, the widow, the one with no claim on anything, had come and tucked myself in under the wings of the God of Israel, the way a small bird shelters from the storm under something warm and strong. And he had not turned me away. He had spread the wing wider. That is the picture I want to give you tonight, dear one. The wing, not a fortress with high, cold walls. A wing, something living and warm and close. The kind of shelter a mother makes with her own body over her young. You do not have to earn your way under it. You do not have to belong first, or deserve it first, or have your life in order first. I certainly did not. You only have to come and take refuge, and he does the rest. There is a song that says it plainly. Dear one, the same picture Boaz gave me, set to music by a king who was, as it happens, my own great-grandson, though that part of the story is still ahead of me. Listen now, from the book of Psalms, the 91st. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. He will cover you with His feathers. Under His wings you will take refuge. His faithfulness is your shield and rampart. You will not be afraid of the terror by night. You will not be afraid of the terror by night. Under his wings you will take refuge. The same wing, dear one, the very same wing that sheltered a Moabite widow in a barley field, is spread over your bed tonight. His faithfulness is your shield, not your own strength, not your own worthiness. His faithfulness, the one thing that has never failed for anyone in all of time. So if you feel like a stranger tonight, dear one, if you feel far from the warmth, far from belonging, far from home, come. There is room under the wing. There has always been room. You do not have to knock. You do not have to prove yourself. You only have to come and rest and let his faithfulness be the shield around your sleep. There is one more song, dear one, that a traveler far from home would sing on the long road up to Jerusalem, a song for anyone who is journeying, anyone who is weary, anyone who lies down in a place that does not yet feel like home. I sang it in my heart many times, gleaning in those fields. Listen now, from the book of Psalms, the 121st. I will lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from Yahweh, who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is your keeper. Yahweh is your shade on your right hand. Yahweh will keep you from all evil. He will keep your soul. Yahweh will keep your going out and your coming in, from this time forward and forevermore. He who keeps you will not slumber. Rest on that tonight, dear one. You are going to close your eyes soon and sleep, but he will not. The one keeping watch over you does not need the rest you need. He will not doze. He will not look away, not for one moment of the whole long night. He keeps your going out and your coming in. He kept mine, all the way from a grave in Moab to a wedding in Bethlehem. He will keep yours too. The wing is spread. The night holds no terror here. You are gathered in. Rest, dear one. And you should know how my story ends, dear one, because it is proof of how far his faithfulness reaches. Boaz redeemed us. He married me, the foreigner, the outsider, and took Naomi's family as his own. And we had a son, and that son had a son, and that son was Jesse. And Jesse had a son named David, who became the great king of Israel. The foreign widow, gleaning in the corners of a stranger's field, became the great-grandmother of a king, and more than a king, in the long fullness of time. But that is a wonder for another night. Do you see, dear one? God does not waste the outsider. He does not overlook the one who feels she does not belong. He gathers her in, under his wing, and he weaves her loss into a story so much larger than her grief that she could never have imagined it from the ruins where she began. Sleep now, dear one. David will speak next, the shepherd king, my own great-grandson. He will tell you what he learned about the Lord out among the sheep, under the open sky. Sleep, you are covered. Part 6. David, the shepherd who became a king. My name is David. Ruth, who spoke to you a moment ago, was my great-grandmother. So the kindness God showed a foreign widow in a barley field ran down through the years and became me. That is how his faithfulness works, dear one. It flows downhill through the generations, like water finding the low places. Before I was a king, I was a shepherd. The youngest of 8 brothers, the one they left out in the fields with the sheep, while the important things happened indoors. And I want to tell you, dear one, that those years in the fields were not wasted years. They were where I learned everything I know about God. Because out there, alone under the wide sky, with the flock spread around me in the grass, I was doing for those sheep exactly what God was doing for me. I led them to water. I found them grass. I counted them at dusk. I fought off the lion and the bear that came for them in the dark. I carried the lambs too small to keep up. And slowly, year by year, it dawned on me. If I love these foolish, wandering, defenseless sheep this much, how much more must God love me? And out of that wondering, one night beneath the stars, I wrote a song. It is the most well-known song I ever wrote, perhaps the most well-known song in all the world. And I wrote it for a night exactly like this one, dear one, for you to fall asleep inside of. Listen now to the words from the book of Psalms, the 23rd. Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and loving kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in Yahweh's house forever. Let us walk through it slowly, dear one, line by line, the way a shepherd walks a flock home in the evening. There is no hurry. The Lord is my shepherd, not the Lord is like a shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, mine, personally. The same God who keeps the countless stars, the ones Abraham could not number, bends down to keep one small, wandering soul, yours. I shall lack nothing, not that I will have everything I want, but that I will never lack anything I truly need. There is a difference, and the sheep who trusts the shepherd learns it. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Dear one, I want you to notice something I learned in the fields. Sheep will not lie down when they are afraid. They will not. If there is a threat, if they are hungry, if they are anxious about the others, they stay on their feet, restless, wide-eyed. A sheep only lies down when it feels completely safe, when it knows the shepherd is near, and the belly is full, and nothing is coming out of the dark. So when the psalm says, "He makes me lie down," it does not mean he forces me down. It means he makes me feel safe enough that lying down becomes possible. That is what He is doing for you right now, dear one, right now, making you feel safe enough to lie down. The Good Shepherd is near. Nothing is coming out of your dark tonight. You may lie down. He leads me beside still waters. Sheep are afraid of rushing water. Did you know that? Their wool grows heavy, and fast water frightens them. So a good shepherd finds the quiet places, the still pools, the gentle edges of the stream. He does not drive his flock through the roaring current. He leads them to the calm water, where they can drink without fear. And that is what He is doing with your mind tonight, dear one, leading it away from the rushing, worried, churning waters of the day toward something still, something quiet. Drink here. It is safe here. He restores my soul. Oh, that line, dear one. To restore is to bring back, to make whole again what the day wore thin. You came to this bed tonight worn thin, I think. Most of us do. And while you sleep, the shepherd does the quiet work of restoring, of putting back what was spent, of mending what was frayed. You will not feel him doing it. You will only wake and find that something in you is a little more whole than it was. He restores. It is simply what he does. And then the psalm turns, dear one, to the hardest ground. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I did not pretend, when I wrote this, that the sheep never pass through dark places. They do. So do we. There are valleys. There are shadows. There are nights the flock must cross a ravine so deep the sun never reaches the bottom. But notice, dear one, I did not say, I will not walk through the valley. I said, even though I walk through it, I will fear no evil. And why? For one reason only, for you are with me. That is the whole secret, dear one. The shepherd does not always keep the sheep out of the valley, but he walks through it with them, every step. And so the darkest ravine becomes bearable, not because it stops being dark, but because you are not alone in it. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The very tools I use to fight off the wolves, the club and the crook, were a comfort to the sheep, because they meant the shepherd was armed and watching and ready. The sheep could sleep in the valley because it could see the staff in the shepherd's hand. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Even when trouble is all around, he sets a table. He feeds his own, calmly, fully, in the very sight of what would harm them. My cup runs over, not just full, overflowing, more than enough. That is the God I met in the fields, dear one. Never stingy, never barely enough, a cup that runs over. And then the last line, the one I want you to carry down into sleep. Surely goodness and loving kindness shall follow me all the days of my life. Follow me, like two faithful sheepdogs, dear one, trotting behind the flock, gathering up the stragglers, making sure not one is lost. Goodness and mercy following you all the days of your life. Not just the good days, all of them, even this one, even the hard ones behind you, even the ones still ahead. They are following you home, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That is where the road leads, dear one. The whole flock, every wandering one of us, led all the way home, forever. There is a thing I have not told you yet, dear one, about the lion and the bear. When I was still just a boy with the sheep, a lion came, and another time a bear, and each of them took a lamb out of the flock. And I went after them, a boy, with nothing but a staff and a sling. I struck them, and I rescued the lamb out of their mouth. I did not do it because I was brave. I did it because that lamb was mine to keep, and I would not let it be taken. Years later, when I stood before the giant Goliath, and the whole army was afraid, I was not. Do you know why, dear one? Because I remembered the lion and the bear. I said, "The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from this too." That is how faith grows, dear one, quietly, in the fields, where no one is watching. Every small rescue you have ever been given is God teaching you, gently, that He will come for you again. Lie in your bed tonight and remember your own lions and bears, the troubles that felt like the end, that you somehow came through. He carried you then. He is carrying you now. He will carry you through whatever giant waits in the morning. For the God who goes after one small lamb into the very mouth of the lion is the God who is keeping you. You are the lamb He will not let be taken. You never were going to be taken. I became a king in time. I wore a crown and won battles and made mistakes so large I am ashamed to name them. But through all of it, I never stopped being a sheep. I never stopped needing the shepherd, and He never once stopped shepherding me. Not through my failures, not through my grief, not through the darkest valleys I walked, some of which I dug myself. He is faithful, dear one, even when we are not. That is the truest thing I know, especially then. So let the Good Shepherd tend you now. You are one of His sheep. He knows your name. He has counted you at the fold, and He knows you are here. The pasture is green. The water is still. The staff is in His hand, and nothing at all is coming out of the dark tonight that He is not already standing between you and. Lie down, dear one, the way the sheep lie down when they are finally, completely safe. He is near. Rest. Sleep now. There is a woman who will speak next, one who met the Lord at a well in the heat of the day, with an empty jar and an emptier heart. She will tell you about a water that never runs dry. Sleep, dear one. The shepherd keeps watch. Part 7. The woman at the well, the one who was finally seen. Tunat. You do not know my name. The book never wrote it down. I am only ever called the woman at the well, or the Samaritan woman. But I will tell you my story tonight, dear one, because it is the story of a thirsty heart that finally found water. And I think, perhaps, you know something about being thirsty in a way that no ordinary water can reach. I lived in a town in Samaria, and I came to the well at noon. Now, dear one, that small detail carries my whole sorrow in it. though you might miss it. The women of the town drew their water in the cool of the morning, together, talking and laughing as they came. But I came at noon, in the worst heat of the day, alone. Because I had made a wreck of my life, and the whispers followed me, and it was easier to bear the sun than to bear the faces of the women who knew. I had had 5 husbands, and the man I lived with then was not my husband. I was the woman everyone had an opinion about, so I came when no one else would be there. Have you ever done that, dear one? Arranged your life around avoiding the eyes of others? Carried something you were so ashamed of that you learned to move through the world at noon, alone, hoping not to be seen? Then you already understand the woman I was, the day everything changed. Because that day, there was a man sitting at the well, a Jewish man, tired from traveling, and Jewish men did not speak to Samaritan women. It was not done. We were beneath them as far as they were concerned. So I kept my eyes down and went to draw my water, and he spoke to me. Listen now to the words from the Gospel of John, the 4th chapter. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." The Samaritan woman therefore said to him, "How is it that you, being a Jew, ask for a drink from me, a Samaritan woman?" Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God, and who it is who says to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." Living water. I did not understand him at first, dear one. I thought he meant the water in the well. I said, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep." I was thinking of buckets and ropes and stone. He was speaking of something else entirely. Listen to what he said next. Jesus answered her, "Everyone who drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I will give him will never thirst again. But the water that I will give him will become in him a well of water, springing up to eternal life." Everyone who drinks of this water will thirst again. Oh, he was right about that, dear one, was he not? I had spent my whole life drinking from wells that could not satisfy. 5 husbands, one relationship after another, always reaching for the next thing, the next person, the next hope that this time, surely, I would feel full. And always, always, thirsty again by morning. I think you may know that particular kind of thirst, dear one, the reaching, the emptiness that no amount of the world's water ever seems to fill. We look for it in so many wells, and every one of them runs dry. But he offered me a different kind of water, a well that would spring up from the inside, water that would never leave me thirsty again. And then he did the thing that broke me open. He told me about my own life, gently, without cruelty. He said, "Go, call your husband." And I said, I had none. And he said, "You have said truly. You have had 5, and the one you have now is not your husband." Dear one, he knew. He knew everything, every shameful corner of my story, everything I came to the well at noon to hide. And here is the wonder that has held me every day since. He knew all of it, and he was still sitting there, still talking with me, still offering me living water. He did not recoil. He did not lecture. He did not get up and walk away from the woman everyone walked away from. He knew the very worst of me, and he stayed. That is what living water is, dear one. It is being fully known and fully loved in the very same moment. All my life I had believed that if anyone truly knew me, they would leave. So I hid. I came at noon. I kept my eyes down. And then I met the one who knew me completely before I said a single word and wanted me anyway. The thirst I had been trying to fill with husbands and wells was a thirst to be seen and not abandoned, and he was the first one who ever did both. I want you to hear this tonight, dear one, wherever you are lying. The things you are most ashamed of, the parts of your story you would come to the well at noon to hide, he already knows them, all of them, every one, and he is still here, still offering you the water, still not walking away. You do not have to clean yourself up first. You do not have to hide the well of your life from him. He was never going to leave. That was never on the table. You are known, and you are loved in the very same breath. There was a promise spoken long before my day, dear one, to a whole people who were thirsty, that I think was waiting all along for a woman at a well. Listen now, from the book of Isaiah, the 55th chapter. Hey, come, everyone who thirsts, to the waters. Come, he who has no money, buy and eat. Yes, come, buy wine and milk, without money and without price. Why do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which doesn't satisfy? Listen diligently to me, and eat what is good, and let your soul delight itself in richness. Come, everyone who thirsts, without money, without price. Do you hear how the invitation has no cost, dear one, no qualification, no worthiness required? Why do you spend your labor on what does not satisfy? He was asking me that at the well, though the words were written centuries before. Why keep drinking from wells that leave you thirsty? Come to the water that is free. Come as you are. Come at noon with your whole messy story and drink. The one who spoke to me at the well said something else, dear one. Later, on a great feast day, standing up before the crowds and calling it out for anyone who would hear. The same offer he made to one thirsty woman, he made to the whole world. Listen now, from the Gospel of John, the 7th chapter. Now on the last and greatest day of the feast, Jesus stood and cried out, "If anyone is thirsty, let him come to me and drink. He who believes in me, as the scripture has said, from within him will flow rivers of living water." Rivers, dear one, not a cup, not a jar, rivers flowing out from within. That is what he put in me that day at the well, and it has never once run dry, not in all the years since. The world's wells give you a cup, and it is empty by morning. He gives you a spring, and it rises and rises from the inside forever. If anyone is thirsty, he said, anyone, that means you, dear one. Come and drink. I left my water jar at the well that day, dear one. Did you know that? The book mentions it, almost in passing. I left the jar. I had carried that jar to the well every day of my thirsty life, and after I met him, I forgot it entirely. I ran back into the town, the very town I had been hiding from, and I told everyone, "Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did." The woman who came at noon to avoid every face went running toward all of them, unashamed, because once you have been fully known and fully loved, dear one, the hiding simply falls away. You do not need it anymore. So set down your jar tonight, dear one. The heavy thing you have been carrying to well after well, trying to fill. You do not need it here. The water he gives springs up from the inside, quiet and endless, and it does not run dry in the night. You are seen, completely, down to the corners you have hidden from everyone, and you are loved, completely, in that very same place. Drink and rest. The thirst is over. You are home in the only love that was ever going to be enough. Sleep now, dear one. You have been found. Rest. One more will speak. A son who wandered far from home, and a father who never stopped watching the road. It is the last story, and the one that gathers up all the others. Sleep, dear one. You are seen, and you are loved. Part 8. The Prodigal Son, the one who came home. I am the son who left. You may have heard my story. It is the last one tonight, dear one, and it gathers up all the others, because in the end, every story of God's faithfulness is a story about coming home. And I am the one who wandered the farthest to learn it. My story was told by the Lord himself, the same one who sat at the well. He told it to show what the Father's heart is truly like. So let me tell it to you the way I lived it, from the inside. I was a younger son, with a good father and a good home, but I grew restless. I looked at my father's house, all its safety, all its love, and somehow I felt it as a cage instead of a gift. So I did a terrible thing. I went to my father and I asked for my share of the inheritance. Now, while he was still living. Do you understand what that meant, dear one? It was as good as saying, "Father, I wish you were already dead. I want what is coming to me, and I do not want to wait for you to be gone to get it." It was the cruelest thing a son could say. And my father, oh my father, he gave it to me. He let me go. He did not chain me to the porch. He did not force me to stay. He let me take my share and walk away, though it must have broken his heart to watch me go. I went to a far country, and I spent it all, every coin, on everything that glittered and promised, and then turned to nothing in my hands. And when the money was gone, the friends were gone too, and a famine came, and I, a son of a good house, ended up in a field, feeding pigs, so hungry I envied the pigs their slop. That is how far I fell, dear one, all the way to the bottom of a stranger's pig field, in a far country, with nothing and no one. And And it was there, in the mud, that I finally came to myself. Listen now to the words from the Gospel of Luke, the 15th chapter. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I'm dying with hunger." I will get up and go to my father, and will tell him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired servants." He arose and came to his father. I had it all planned, dear one, the speech, every word. I would not even ask to be a son anymore. I had thrown that away. I would ask only to be a servant, a hired hand, sleeping in the barn, earning my bread. That was the most I dared to hope for. I rehearsed it the whole long, hungry, ashamed walk home. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. I believed that with my whole heart. I had the words ready. But dear one, I never got to finish the speech. Listen to what happened. But while he was still far off, his father saw him and was moved with compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. The son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father said to his servants, "Bring out the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his hand and sandals on his feet. Let's eat and celebrate. For this, my son, was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." While he was still far off, his father saw him. Do you understand what that means, dear one? It means my father had been watching the road all that time, every day, while I was wasting his money in the far country, while I was starving in the pig field, while I was rehearsing my servant's speech. My father was standing at the edge of the property, looking down the road, waiting to see a familiar shape on the horizon. He saw me while I was still far off, because he had never once stopped looking for me. And then he ran. Dear one, in that time and place, a grown man of standing did not run. It was beneath his dignity. He would gather his robes and walk. But my father saw his ruined boy on the road, and he forgot every scrap of his dignity, and he ran. An old man, robes flying, running down the road toward the son who had wished him dead. And he reached me before I reached the house. He fell on my neck. He kissed me. He would not even let me finish my speech. I got out the first part. "Father, I have sinned. I am no longer worthy." And he was not even listening to the shameful part. He was already calling for the robe, the best robe, and the ring that meant I was a son, not a servant, a son with the family name and the family authority, and sandals for my bare, cut feet. I came home hoping to be a hired hand. He would not hear of it. He put the ring of a son back on my hand before the mud was even washed off. That is the Father, dear one. That is the heart at the center of every story you have heard tonight. The God who told Abraham not to be afraid. The God who turned Sarah's doubt to laughter the God who was with Joseph in the pit, the God who went before Moses in the fire, the God who spread his wing over Ruth, the God who shepherded David through the valley, the God who saw the woman at the well and did not walk away. All of it is this Father watching the road, running to meet the ones who come home. And here is what I most want you to carry into sleep, dear one. The distance did not matter. The wandering did not matter. The wasted years, the shameful speech, the pig field, none of it changed how the Father received me. He did not meet me with a list of my failures. He met me with a robe and a ring and a feast. I did not have to earn my way back to being a son. I only had to come home, and he did all the rest before I could even finish apologizing. However far you feel from home tonight, dear one, however long you have wandered, whatever you have wasted, whatever speech of unworthiness you have been rehearsing in the dark, hear this. The Father is watching the road. He has never stopped. The lamp in the window has never gone out. And the moment you turn toward home, even while you are still far off, He is already running. There is one last thing, dear one, the oldest promise from the shepherd King David, a single line for the very edge of sleep. Listen now, from the book of Psalms, the 4th. In peace I will both lie down and sleep, for you, Yahweh alone, make me live in safety. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. That is the whole journey, dear one. Come to rest in a single sentence. Not, I keep myself safe. Not, I have earned my rest. You alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. The Father is watching. The lamp is lit. The robe is on your shoulders. You are home. You can sleep now. Closing 8 lives, dear one. 8 ordinary, frightened, waiting people. And one thread running through every single one of them, like a single golden lamp carried from room to room. God keeps His word. He has never once broken a promise, not in all of time. We began under the stars, do you remember? With an old man named Abraham, told to stop counting his fears and count the stars instead. And we end at a lamp in a window, a father watching the road. But it is the same light, dear one, the same faithful light. The stars over Abraham's tent and the lamp in the Father's window are the same steady flame that has been kept burning for you through every story, through every night, through all of time. It is burning over your roof right now. You do not have to hold any of it up tonight, not the counting, not the waiting, not the fear, or the wandering, or the thirst, or the long walk home. It is all held. You are all held by the one who does not slumber, and does not fail, and does not forsake, and runs while you are still far off. So let your breathing slow now, dear one. Let your body grow heavy and warm against the bed. Let the day, with all it asked of you, finally set like the sun. You are Abraham's countless star. You are Sarah's impossible joy. You are the lamb the shepherd will not let be taken. You are the child the father ran to meet. You are seen. You are kept. You are loved. You are home. Sleep now, dear one. The lamp is lit. The road is watched. The promise holds. And it will still be holding when the morning comes. Rest. Rest. You are home.